What is going on, Debt Free Mafia? Hey, welcome to the channel. Hey, are you getting a $1,400 stimulus check or more and want to know, hey, what is the wisest way to take care of this money that I've received that I wasn't counting on originally? What is the smartest thing I can be doing with it? That's a great question. I kind of want to go over those topics here in this video. If you don't know me, my name is Rick. I am a financial coach. I help people get out of debt, get organized with money, start winning with money, and start building a legacy, not only for their children, but their children's children. So I'm so thankful that you're here. Hey, if you want to be a part of the Debt Free Mafia, the easiest thing you can do is just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if this is stuff that you like, so that way you can get more personal finance tips. That's where we specialize here at the Debt Free Mafia. So where should you throw that money that you are getting from your stimulus check? It's a great question. What I like to do is I like to follow the baby steps that we talk about here at the Debt Free Mafia. They originally were kind of pioneered by Dave. I've taken them and kind of put my own spin on them and what I think is best, because I've had my own clients and my own experiences. I do them just a little bit different. However, the principles are solid, and that's what we're going to do here on appropriating that money the most appropriate way possible. So first thing we want to do, I'm a big believer in an emergency fund. So if you as a family do not have an emergency fund, which is, cash set aside for a rainy day, because as a lot of you probably have figured out, a lot of stuff's out of our control, and we want to have some cash set aside for those rainy days whenever things pop up and become an issue. So what I recommend, and what I recommend to my clients, is that they set aside $1,000 to $2,000 in a savings account that they're not going to touch. You can keep it in cash if you want to, or you can keep it into savings. I just don't want you to touch it or use it or be tempted to spend it in any way outside of just an emergency. So car breaks down, hot water heater goes out, there's a loss of income, somebody gets hurt and you need to cover medical bills, whatever it is. We're going to start out with $1,000 to $2,000, whichever you feel comfortable with. No more than $2,000, no less than $1,000. So I want you to be able to have that. So this $1,400 stimulus check is what a lot of people are going to get that amount. That's going to be right in the middle, which is perfect. And that's going to be fine. If you're a married couple, you're going to get probably $2,800. That's great. What we're going to do next, if you've got some cash set aside for an emergency fund, is we are going to attack debt. If you didn't know, at the Debt Free Mafia, we are big about paying off debt. So what I want you to do is I want you to list out your debts by their balance that you owe on them. So smallest balance all the way to the largest balance. And what I want you to do is I want you to take any cash that you have left over. So if you have an emergency fund already, I want you to take your stimulus check and throw that bad boy at your lowest debt payment. Reason being, and I know that it's really tempting to buy a new TV, get a down payment on a new car, buy fun toys, whatever it is. I get that. But I want you to change your life. If you're like the average American, you're living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want you to do that anymore, because that's extremely restricting. You're stuck in your day job. You're stuck doing the things you have to do. You're stuck stressing every month. You're really limited on what you can do vacation-wise. I mean, the list goes on and on when you're living paycheck to paycheck, and that is over 70% of Americans are right there with you. So what I want you to do is I want you to take care of that smallest debt. It could be anywhere from $100 to $2,000, whatever it is. We're going to throw all that stimulus check at that lowest payment. We're going to get it paid off. And we are going to attack debt using the debt snowball. Debt snowball is something we talk about a lot here. It's about how we take care of debt in the order of smallest to largest. Reason being is because it helps us knock out debts quickly, and not so much quickly, but as much as it gives us, once you start seeing these debts fall, those smaller debts fall, it gives you motivation to knock out these bigger debts. So big believer in that. Actually, we'll link a video below on how to use the debt snowball and how it works. I'm a big believer in it. It's what I push all my clients to. Anyways, after we get all of our debt paid off, let's say that you have you got $2,000 in an emergency fund and you've paid off all your debt. Now what do you do with that stimulus check? Great question. I want you to build your emergency fund a little bit bigger. We're big believers in having a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, no more, no less, right? We leave a little bit of room for variance in there. If you're in a high risk job area, we definitely want you to be closer to the 6 months. We live in West Texas, so we're in the oil field. Most of the people that live in the oil field, it's a very volatile industry. So I always tell anybody who's involved in the oil industry that they need to default to 6 month emergency fund, because people out here lose their jobs very easily. Even when it's good, it's good. When it's bad. So we default to the 6. If you're like a school teacher and a nurse, or if you're a firefighter, or you work for a nonprofit, or I've got clients that are all over the place. This kind of stuff, these are very safe jobs typically. So what I want you to do is, you can focus more on the 3 months. So let's say you got an emergency fund, you don't have debt, you've got your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Now what? Now what do we do with this? Well, I want you to kind of look at your situation and assess it a little bit. Maybe you're not sure what to do is smart with your money. So what I recommend is that you take that money and you throw it at an investment, whether that's an index fund, a Roth IRA, or typically a Roth IRA buy-in is around $5,000. So this would be a good start to save extra to where you can buy into a Roth IRA. If you don't know what a Roth IRA is, we're going to do another video on one of those here pretty soon, but essentially it's a account that you pay taxes on as you buy into it, but whenever you cash it out, you don't have to pay any taxes, which is awesome because you just get the face value. That's a great option. I want you, if you're not investing, this is a really great opportunity to start investing. I think that's a great option. Now, if you say you're already, what we recommend is 15% of your take-home pay go towards investments. If you're already doing it and you still have this extra money and you're just like, I got extra money, don't know what to do with it, I got 2 options for you that I think are really solid. One is you can be really aggressive with some sort of investment. I'm not a big advocate for saying throwing a ton of money at cryptocurrency or risky investments that have a lot of potential. This is a good opportunity because what you have here is you have excess. So you can take a little bit of a risk in this scenario on something that could be more volatile. The second option, you could be really generous. There are a ton of people that are hurting right now. This is a great opportunity to be able to buy them something that they need. Or just write them a check. There's that option also. So I think those are 2 really great options that a lot of people don't have. But if you do have them, please take advantage of them. And then I think on top of all of that, if you're really struggling, let's say that you're just, you've lived paycheck to paycheck. When you're growing up, mom and dad didn't have a great relationship with money. You felt like you were never really taught what personal finance is like. I strongly recommend that you hire a financial coach. Obviously, I'm a financial coach, and it kind of seems like, oh yeah, well, of course you want us to purchase your coaching. Hold on. If you really wanted to get physical fit, like say you really wanted to hit goals physically, what's the most effective way to do that? Is it to buy a gym membership? Yeah, sure, that helps. But are you gonna go? Maybe. Or is it to do home workouts? Some people thrive there, but not everybody. It's really hard to get motivated. In my opinion, in my experience, the best way to become physically fit and learn how to become a really big, how to become really physically fit is to hire a personal trainer, somebody that'll sit there and watch you work on your training, help you shape a diet, help you on your form, tell you what workouts to do. That way it's molded to you so that you can hit your potential faster. Everybody in Hollywood, they hire personal trainers because they're the most effective way to get physically fit. If you want to get financially fit and you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, you're tired of dreading walking to the mailbox, you're stressing about making a car payment, a house payment, whatever it is this month, listen, I know it's tempting to throw that money straight at what the biggest problem is, but what if we did a big behavioral change in your life where you're not stressing about money, where you do make a big change? I think financial coaching is a fantastic investment. I myself have invested in a financial coach because I really want somebody in my situation looking at what's going on with us and how I can be more effective with what we've been given. That is such a great investment. So if that's something that you're really interested in, feel free to DM me on Facebook or Instagram. On Instagram, it's debt.free.mafia. On Facebook, it's just Debt Free Mafia. You can find me on Messenger there. Just shoot me a quick message. Say, hey, you mentioned financial coaching. Interested? I'd love to talk to you. Worst case scenario, we'll sit down and spend a 30-minute session, and I'll be asking you all kinds of questions and hopefully at least ignite your thought process into a fruitful situation for you. That's my goal. My goal is to provide a ton of value to you no matter what. So, guys, be smart with these stimulus checks. I know it's really tempting to go and buy TVs with them and buy a PlayStation 5 and maybe get a new down payment on a car, whatever it is. Guys, there is greener grass on the side of financial freedom. I can tell you that firsthand. Anyways, guys, I hope this was beneficial to you. If it was, again, if you want to be a part of the Mafia, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you're planning on doing with your stimulus check, 'cause I'm curious. Guys, I appreciate you. We'll talk to you later. Peace.